Ellis, as he gets the support of Congressman Bobby Rush in the race for mayor. Brandon Johnson getting new support from pastors, too.
Plus, police beef up security at locations around the country as we wait to see if a grand jury will indict former President Trump.
Firefighters respond to a deadly fire in Orland Hills. The new information we're learning tonight.
A group of people who were wrongfully convicted. New lawsuits filed today against a disgraced former Chicago police detective.
Plus, later, a new warning about strep throat in kids, what parents need to know.
But we begin tonight with the Chicago mayoral election, which is 2 weeks from today.
We'll be sitting right here to bring you the latest. Paul Vallis getting emotional when Bobby Rush pledges his support. Brandon Johnson getting his own endorsement today. Political reporter Craig Wall has the latest tonight from the campaign trail.
Paul Vallis never seems to be at a loss for words, but today's endorsement by Bobby Rush led to a very emotional moment for Vallis that left him unable to speak. Vallis and Brandon Johnson continuing to try and build support in the black community with the election 2 weeks from today.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Paul Vallis's campaign getting a boost of energy today from longtime Southside, now retired Congressman Bobby Rush. Today they marched together during an anti-violence rally in Bronzeville, where Rush said Chicago is at a crossroads with this election, providing voters with two very different choices for mayor.
I'm only one city leader.
Yes. Valid.
Only one person in this race for mayor that will hit the ground running.
When Vallis was introduced, he was overcome by emotion.
You know, it's been a really long campaign, but this has got to be the highlight.
Right.
The next mayor of the city of Chicago, Commissioner Brandon Johnson. Come on, let's do it!
A short time earlier, Brandon Johnson gathering with a group of more than 200 Chicagoland ministers in a church just a few blocks away to try to energize supporters in the final 2 weeks.
There's so much excitement in this city because they believe that our promises have to be as big as the city of Chicago. Yes. And that we don't have to live in fear or doubt or trepidation. We get to live out our hopes. And now it's time for to turn our hopes into votes.
Johnson's backers also pointing to union support as another distinguishing aspect of this election.
We'll take our chances coalescing and collaborating with the teachers union. All right. Before we ever get in bed with the fraternal order of police.
Rush, a former Black Panther who has had his own issues with police, said he detests FOP leadership, not the rank and file who endorsed Vallis.
I am not anti-police. I'm anti-bad police.
Political observers have frequently noted how critical the black vote will be in determining this election, which is why Johnson and Vallis are both courting so many endorsements from influential members of the black community. Back to you.
Craig, thank you. Supporters of former President Trump gathering today outside his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. They waved flags and chanted on the day that the former president had claimed he'd be arrested. There's no evidence that will happen today.
In New York, officers set up barricades around the Manhattan courthouse. The district attorney there wrapping up a criminal investigation into the former president. That investigation is tied to alleged hush money payments to Stormy Daniels.
ABC's Morgan Norwood reports from New York tonight.
Rob Sherrill, Trump said he'd be arrested today, right? But look, the grand jury isn't even in session to vote on any potential action today. Still, Trump supporters gathering, and it has local and federal authorities on alert.
Demonstrators from both sides of the aisle starting to gather in New York City as the Manhattan District Attorney's criminal investigation into former President Donald Trump appears to be nearing its end. Fencing going up around the Capitol in Washington, D.C., and metal barricades at the courthouse in Manhattan, where the grand jury will decide on any potential charges. Trump calling on his supporters to protest when he made an unverified claim over the weekend that he would be arrested Tuesday in connection to the case, which is looking into hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Intelligence bulletins obtained by ABC News warn of a significant increase in threats and general violent rhetoric and say some of Trump's most ardent supporters are still willing to fight on his behalf.
We are always prepared I can say that from here. I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals or any potential scenarios, but we are always preparing.
On Monday, attorney Bob Costello took the stand in defense of Trump.
The only thing I'm doing is trying to tell the truth to the grand jurors. But Michael Cohen is far from solid evidence.
Michael Cohen, Trump's former fixer, also testifying last week about the $130,000 check he wrote to Daniels a month before the election. He says at Trump's direction, later serving federal prison time in part for that payment. Experts say the payment may have violated campaign finance laws. Trump's legal team saying he paid Daniels to protect his family. But some Republicans coming to Trump's defense, including House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who blasted the Manhattan DA.
What we see before us is a political game being played by a local. Look, this isn't New York City. This is just the Manhattan. This is just a borough DA.
So remember, this investigation, just one of several probes into former President Trump, including a federal investigation involving the potential mishandling of classified documents and obstruction of justice. In New York, I'm Morgan Norwood for ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Morgan, thanks for that report. Here back in Chicago, a live look outside. The birds are coming back. I see seagulls. That means we're in spring.
I mean, we can start calling this the golden hour in a few minutes.
Yes. Well, we never stopped, did we?
No, we didn't.
No, but it was
like,
not golden.
Visually,
yeah, right.
It
was
visually,
miserable
we
and
can go
dark.
Back right to the golden hour
Right.
because the sun is starting to set. I think, the hinge yesterday kind of
got us there.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it felt good. We just need the weather, Greg, to get us there, and it doesn't sound like it's happening.
It is not for the next 7 days. Try again later here at the beginning of next week. Well, maybe as we add days on, it'll start improving. But right now we're in about the mid 40s. I got 46 in Palatine, 44 degrees in Naperville. It was a nice day. It was another breezy day, as you'll see when we get to the bigger weather segment. I got lots to talk about in terms of those winds, but at least we did have those temperatures back to around 50 this afternoon. And we go back to around 50 here for tomorrow. Pretty warm during the overnight with the winds still kicking around with the cloud cover. Those clouds do help us out. And we only bottom out in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Again, back to about 50 or so tomorrow. Some scattered showers this evening. More in the way of rainfall for tomorrow. Could be some strong or even severe storms out there for tomorrow afternoon. We will track those in just a few minutes coming up.
All right, thank you so much. Now, updating breaking news. We have learned the name of a woman killed in a fire in south suburban Orland Hills today. Jessica Morrow was 41 years old. Investigators say she was trapped inside the home on Beacon Lane. Another person escaped on their own and is doing okay tonight. 3 police officers were evaluated but were not hospitalized.
This is the first step in getting justice for Ivo. Justice for Ivo.
Justice for Ivo.
Justice for Ivo.
A new reaction tonight from the family of a man who died at a psychiatric hospital in Virginia. Tonight, we're seeing the surveillance video showing deputies and medical staff allegedly piling on top of the man before his death. We do want to warn you, this video can be hard to watch. ABC's Ika Chachi reports for us from Washington tonight.
Today, Virginia state prosecutors releasing difficult-to-watch surveillance video that allegedly shows the moments during and after the death of 28-year-old Irvo Otieno at the hands of several Henrico County Sheriff's deputies and hospital staff at a state psychiatric hospital.
I don't understand how all systems failed him.
The Virginia Commonwealth attorney releasing a shortened version of the footage that allegedly shows jail staff bringing Otieno into the admissions room at the medical center on March 6th before he's put on the ground by deputies with several medics seen standing around. After a short struggle, Otieno is seen being overwhelmed by at times 7 officers who are literally pressing his body to the ground. Prosecutors allege he was held down at least 12 minutes. Otieno, shirtless and shackled at the wrists and ankles, appears to be being restrained by the sheriff's deputies.
Which one of them will have the humanity to say that 11 minutes is far too long to have him down with the weight of our bodies and knees on his neck?
When one deputy gets off him, Otieno appears lifeless, and after checking, another deputy can't find a pulse. Later, a flurry of jail and medical staff rush into the room, some attempting to administer CPR, but to no avail. Then, you see what appears to be nurses and doctors attempting to give him oxygen and revive him, but that too also doesn't work. Authorities say the preliminary cause of Otieno's death was suffocation. The prosecutor says there's another video allegedly showing Otieno being punched in in the chest and pepper sprayed by 3 of the deputies before being taken to the psychiatric hospital. The 10 sheriff's deputies and hospital staff have been each charged with second-degree murder. 4 of the 10 defendants have been released on bond. The others remain in custody. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
All right, Ike, thank you for that. Now to the latest on the war in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese leader Xi signed an agreement to enhance cooperation between the two countries. The trip came with a so-called peace proposal to end the war in Ukraine. Putin claims the proposal can be a basis for a peaceful settlement, but says the West and Ukraine are not ready for it. A U.S. official says the Pentagon plans to speed up the delivery of tanks to Ukraine. They could be in Kyiv as soon as this fall.
Back in our area, a West Side family says they're thankful they're safe after bricks from a large vacant building next door came crashing through their home. You see the debris? It barely missed a young woman and her 6-week-old baby. Incredibly, no one was hurt, but multiple rooms were damaged. The dilapidated building is the landmark Guyan building. Once a fancy hotel, it's been sitting empty since the 90s. And a man who lives next door did not want to show his face on camera, but he says this is the 3rd time something like this has happened.
Last night, there's people standing outside, there's bricks falling on them, like just falling down out of the sky. And it's like, what do? You look up every time you walk past the building? That's ridiculous.
This property was previously cited for building code violations in 2022, and the owner is currently being sued by the city. Chicago's Department of Buildings says the owner is making emergency repairs.
11 new federal lawsuits filed today against disgraced former Chicago police detective Reynaldo Guevara. Police say they were wrongfully convicted after Guevara coerced false confessions in their cases. Leah Hope tonight talking to some of them who say the fight to clear their names is far from over.
Some of these men have been waiting decades for justice.
We just want to live like normal human beings, get a job, have a family, and do things like everybody else, like civilians. But we're still treated as convicts.
Rosendo Hernandez is among the 11 men who served time, then had the charges dropped, and now are seeking justice in federal court against former Chicago detective Reynaldo Guevara and the city of Chicago.
The city of Chicago needs to stop, and they need to start doing what's right. You know, it's sad that all these years go by and we're still fighting.
Today, lawsuits were filed on behalf of the men who claim Guevara violated their civil rights with violence and coercion to get wrongful convictions.
Mr. Guevara engaged in one of the most corrupt set of investigations this city or any city has ever seen, resulting in 39 exonerations.
It's long overdue. Somebody step up and do the right thing.
Today, they gathered in front of City Hall.
A simple apology from the city of Chicago. We're sorry for what happened to you. We're sorry what happened on our watch. It shouldn't have happened. That would go a long way.
Attorney for the exonerated tell us a couple of the men have settled with the city, but most are still waiting for their certifications of innocence and compensation. No one from the city's law department responded to our requests for comment. At City Hall, Leah Hope, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
2 Chicago firefighters became trapped when the 2nd floor inside a burning condo collapsed.
We have a collapsed 2nd floor in the primary building. We're finding the trap.
This happened on the far south side overnight. One of the trapped firefighters was able to get himself out. The other was stuck in debris up to his waist and had to be rescued. In all, 4 firefighters had minor injuries. A neighbor tells us she was woken up by the smell of smoke.
The house next door was on fire, blazing. It was everywhere, like the whole house was in blaze, in flames.
The flames quickly spread to that woman's home as well, leaving her and others without a place to stay. Cause of this fire still under investigation tonight.
A man is shot and killed during an early morning home invasion in Rogers Park. It happened in the 7600 block of North Sheridan. As Evelyn Holmes reports, the victim was killed after a gunman knocked on the front door.
It's a neighborhood on edge after police say a man visiting from Wisconsin is shot and killed during a home invasion while staying with relatives in Rogers Park.
I don't appreciate all that noise and we having to wake up to gunshots and stuff.
The Cook County Medical Examiner identifies the victim as 45-year-old Quentin Pruitt of Madison, Wisconsin. Chicago police say Pruitt was inside a ground floor unit in this apartment building in the 7600 block of North Sheridan Road when shots rang out. Others in the home at the time say it was around 3:30 this morning when someone knocked on the back door, pushed it open, and started firing. Witnesses say Pruitt, who was standing in the living room, was hit several times and died at the scene. They called 911 as the shooter ran away into the alley. Some people living in the area say this is not the first time there have been problems at the apartment building.
It's a little concerning. Safety is definitely a big concern for us, and I feel like our local government officials should be doing more to keep us safe and protected, especially the folks who live in this building too. I can't imagine what they're having to deal with.
Some residents say they've made multiple complaints to the authorities about the condition of the property located on the city's far north side. A spokesperson for 49th Ward Alderwoman Maria Hatton says her office is aware of the neighbors' concerns and tells us, "We have been working closely with the Department of Law, the Department of Buildings, and the Police Department to make sure the building owner addresses the concerns and improves the safety and security of this building." As the Pruitt family grieves, police continue their investigation into the attack, but so far no arrests have been made and no one is in custody. Reporting from Chicago's Rogers Park neighborhood, Evelyn Holmes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Today we heard new testimony from a sitting state lawmaker in the corruption trial of the so-called ComEd 4. The state representative, Bob Rita, admitted he didn't know much about ComEd when he became the sponsor of legislation that's at the heart of the trial. But he apparently followed the lead set by former ComEd lobbyist and defendant Mike McLean. Also today, testimony from Exelon and ComEd's former general counsel, Thomas O'Neill. O'Neill played a significant role in getting legislation passed for ComEd. The ComEd 4 accused of trying to bribe former House Speaker Mike Madigan for favorable legislation.
Kevin Fox, the Wilmington man wrongly arrested and charged with the murder of his 3-year-old daughter, has been killed in a car crash in Arkansas. That according to Fox's former attorney, Kathleen Zellner. Fox spent 8 months in jail for Riley Fox's death back in 2004 until he was cleared by DNA evidence. The story made national news. Riley disappeared from the family's home and her body was later discovered in a nearby creek. In 2010, Scott Eby, a sex offender already in prison, confessed to killing Riley. The Fox family sued the Will County authorities and were awarded $8 million. In a statement to ABC7, Zellner says Kevin will be remembered as a courageous fighter for justice, the best husband, father, son, and brother imaginable. He will be missed every day.
Chicago man who founded the hair care company Soft Sheen has passed away. Edward Gardner also recreated the historic Regal Theater on the South Side. His life's work went far beyond business. Gardner used his resources to register more than 200,000 people during Harold Washington's campaign for mayor.
He never failed to answer the call when he was called upon to help the city grow. And when he saw a need, he was so excited to jump in. I think that's the one thing for me I really take away from him was just that bravery.
Gardner's family says he was inspired by news stories he saw to always help people in need. He died yesterday at the age of 98.
History maker and life changer. We are all grateful for his contribution to American history. And today is the first full day of construction on the Kennedy Expressway. It's coming to a close. Commuters seeing long delays during the evening's commute tonight. 2 left lanes are down from Montrose to Irving Park. By the end of the week, lane closures will extend all the way to Hubbard's Cave. Well, this morning it was much of the same. Traffic backed up for miles for the $150 million project that is scheduled to last about 3 years. Drivers will see repaired bridges and pavement, new signs, and new LED lights.
That was DuSable Lakeshore Drive did affect, because people are using other
alternate routes, because we've been warning them that it's coming. So, it's still, no matter which way you go, it's just going to be, you just got to pack your patience and leave
3 years,
early.
Right? 3 years, I think, is when they said.
Right.
So
$150 million.
2020.
Six. Yeah.
You know, I'm saying at least.
He's our mathematician, our resident mathematician.
At least 2027, minimum.
I'm saying.
You're saying early.
Right. I am. I'm an optimist. So
you always
thinking
are. So am I, except when it comes to construction in Chicago.
And what are the 2 seasons? We got to ask Greg. Construction and winter.
Yeah.
I think those are the 2 seasons around here.
It is optimistic with our seasons when construction starts.
And if you don't have to drive that, you could be more optimistic.
Right. That's true. Right. You can look at it and laugh like this, and people in it They're like,
right. Oh, but you do have to run errands, though. I'm thinking about this weekend, all the places I have to go, and I'm
go
like,
to the airport if you're ever coming from the city.
I just go to the north side.
Avoid it, right.
Yeah. Oh man.
Good luck.
All right, pack your patience, take a deep breath. As Eric said last night, Godspeed, for sure. Let's talk about a very special surprise for a young Bulls fan. We have that story for you just ahead. It's so cool. Don't go anywhere.
Look forward to it. Plus a big honor for Brookfield Zoo. It's time for your weather forecast. Greg's over there getting
Look at
ready.
that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Doesn't that look like golden?
Looks like the golden hour.
Thank you.
We're in it. We are in it.
We've adjusted the saturation on the camera, slightly.
Why do you have to just break it down and tell everybody our secrets?
What is saturation? No one knows.
Right. They just know it's golden.
Right. It's gorgeous.
And we are going to get, a handful of days here soon enough. And we've had such a mild winter. 15, 17 inches of snow behind versus just a normal winter, not even compared to some of the crazy winters that we've had in the past handful of years. And yes, we are finally kind of through that, it looks like, as rain and snow in the forecast is not as snowy as it was looking before. So let's jump into it here. Sprinkles light at times here for this evening. There are some on the radar right now. Most of them are along and south of Interstate 80. And tomorrow and into tomorrow night, we're talking about some showers and possibly some stronger storms threatening the area before, yes, there is a rain-snow mix possible on our Saturday, but mostly it's just going to be cold and blustery, and most of those snowflakes look like they're actually going to stay north of the area, and there's still time for that track to change and bump farther north, as it has been almost every single day. There's also a bunch of wind that has been pretty strong through the last couple of days, not as strong as it was yesterday, but still sustained out of the south at 17 miles per hour. That's been helping our warm up. It is going to be responsible for our warm temperatures during later on tonight, along with the cloud cover. And you see those gusts from today, still 25, 30 miles per hour, so that wind really hasn't laid down too much, although it was gusting at some points yesterday to 40 miles per hour plus. Still, pretty decent sustained winds out of the due south. If we had sunshine, we could easily be making it to around 60 degrees for tomorrow, but we don't have any sunshine, unfortunately, and it's more like rain showers. Gusts are still occasionally making up to about 25 or 30 miles per hour, and you see that is helping the temperatures out, the cloud cover and those southerly winds, but if we had those clear skies, as I mentioned, we would be much, much warmer. Satellite and radar showing those rain showers, most of them staying off to the south of the city for now. We could get a little bit of this action here that's off to the south of Interstate 80, but this is not heavy rain or the heavy rain that we're expecting. Instead, this is just kind of the northern lobe of a stronger system off to the south that's making its way through areas of Kentucky and southern Illinois. So here's Futurecast again, just showing that kind of rippling on through. Scattered rain showers mainly stay south of the city. Better chance of area-wide rain is going to be later on our Wednesday and into Thursday, when we will see a line of thunderstorms form and move through what looks to be the southern half, yet again, of our viewing area, where we could see some stronger or severe weather. Heavy rain for everyone, even if you don't see the severe storms, and that'll last until from Wednesday night, possibly all the way to noontime on Thursday, before we catch a little bit of a break here on Friday, and then this system lifts off to the north, and this is where that snow chance starts coming in. And it'll definitely be cold on behind the system. Even if we don't see the snow kind of pivot on through, we're still going to get those northeasterly winds. As I mentioned, there is a marginal risk. It is the lowest level on the severe risk scale, but it is also the first one that we've seen so far this season. So it does, of course, warrant paying attention to as we ramp up into the traditional severe weather season. And it's mainly for hail. The hail threat, about 5%, it looks like, for any of those storms to produce hail. And that goes right up into our northernmost counties. They've actually extended it a little bit farther north than they had earlier. McHenry, and Lake counties in Illinois were not in it. And now it looks like the southern fringe is. All right, so that's today, tomorrow. Tomorrow's high temperature will be the warmest that we see all week before we start cooling things down into the weekend. And then we're going to have to claw our way back, and it's tough. Fits and starts. Nothing above 50 degrees through the middle of next week. Instead, upper 40s there on Sunday with partly cloudy skies. So it is an uphill climb, but we do get sunshine next week. So that's nice.
When do the 50s come back?
That's a good question.
Opening day next Thursday?
Oh,
maybe. I don't know, Greg. Can you work that out?
We'll hold them until then.
Okay, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I bet it's going to be miserable.
Keeping the bullpen.
So quick, yeah.
I know. It's like, what, 8 days, 9 days away?
Coming
You
quick.
ready?
Yeah. I think, wow.
Maybe next year we're going to start saying it. Maybe next
Wait,
year.
we haven't even started this year. Right? You might be right on that one for both teams.
I think we should get like confetti. We should add something to this 7 o'clock hour of power because
Just
we do a lot
confetti.
of, Thankful Tuesday, Way to Go Wednesday, Feel Good Friday, Motivation Monday, and we should celebrate.
Just, throw it on each other.
Yeah, or not on
shower.
That way.
He has a good forecast. We could throw rose petals at him.
Yeah, we could.
that's great.
I mean,
yeah,
see.
but then somebody's got to clean it up. That's the part.
We could clean it up,
I would help.
but because we've got to have something to smile about and be hopeful. Because we've got some congratulations coming. A lot of good things happen here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because we're talking about.
Oh, this one. Good segue that I missed.
Yeah, you completely missed
well,
that
we
one,
have worked together like 10 days. I'm just getting back into my reps with you. Thank you. A big congratulations, confetti, to Brookfield Zoo.
Yay!
Well played.
Imagine.
Right, there's the confetti. Yeah.
The sound effects. Then Greg, of course, will just be a Debbie Downer. And, well, we just added the saturation.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
All right, but look at this.
Yeah.
It's Brookfield Zoo is ranked 5th. That is so cool in USA Today's 10 best zoos. Now, experts choose the top nominees, and then the public gets to vote for the favorites. We know our favorite. Brookfield was chosen for its focus on animal care and conservation. So coming in at number 1 on the list, all the way to Omaha if you want to see number 1, Henry Dorley's Zoo and Aquarium. They have a tram and they have stingrays. I think that's the only reason.
But they're combining. It's
right.
like the shed
They
and
get
Brookfield.
a 2 for 1. That's not a fair competition.
I agree. If we combine both of those,
right?
blow
The
it
Shed
away.
Aquarium with the Brookfield Zoo. Oh, that's a global win.
Also, Omaha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're from Omaha.
Well,
Is anybody?
where's our confetti?
Right. Now I get what you were saying. Okay, thank you.
All right. And this story
More confetti.
deserves it too,
Yes.
right? This is, I
a
think,
good
my
one.
favorite story of the day, right? An incredible trip for a 10-year-old patient from Advocate Children's Hospital. Ben Kruger and his family flew with the Chicago Bulls on the team plane to Philadelphia. The Niles boy had a front row seat to the Bulls beat the 76ers last night in double overtime. It does not get any better than that. And he got VIP treatment, including staying at the team hotel, having dinners with his favorite Bulls players. I mean, look at that. And look, he's trying to take your job.
Yeah, that's Chuck Swirsky. Great dude. He's great
man,
people.
he got to do play-by-play.
That's a tough road win to have. He's good luck charm.
Right. I think he should go because I heard they play the 76ers tomorrow night.
Okay, probably back here.
Right. So he should be at the game
Get him
tomorrow
into UC.
night. He is the good luck charm for sure.
Congratulations, young man.
Yay.
That's a good trip.
All right.
I saw some pictures of this. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow heads to court. There's the video. The claims against her and how she's fighting back.
But first, doctors issue a warning about strep throat cases, the concerning signs that parents should look out for with their children. We have that story, a very important story for you on the other side of the break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back at the halfway point.
Illinois' top doctor warning about cases of strep throat in children.
Well, the health department says 5 children have died to related strep illnesses so far this year. Karen Jordan speaking to doctors to get some advice for parents.
Illinois health officials issued an alert about a rise in dangerous strep throat cases, with at least 5 pediatric deaths reported so far in the state. The warning centers on the invasive Group A strep throat. Severe complications from strep happen when, in rare instances, the bacteria migrate to other parts of the body and become invasive.
Germs are being found in parts of the body where you don't usually see them, like they'll be found in the bloodstream, the lungs, or even in the joints.
Dr. Michael Capello, the vice chairman of Advocate Children's Hospital, says there have been cases at the hospital of patients with invasive Group A strep, some needing intensive care, but all were treated successfully. The reason behind the spike in pediatric cases remains unclear.
With the increase in viral infections that we had in the respiratory surge in the winter, that presence of the virus, if you get the Group A strep on top of that, the virus is working on your immune system. It could be breaking it down a little bit.
Group A strep bacteria can cause common and generally mild illnesses, but doctors urge parents to contact their health providers when their children come down with severe symptoms like scarlet fever.
It's when you get a rash that almost makes you look like a sunburn, very, diffuse red rash of the body, and then the skin, especially from your fingertips, might start peeling off.
To prevent the spread of Group A strep infections, health experts recommend you cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Wash your hands often with soap and water, and make sure everyone in the house is up to date with flu, COVID, and chickenpox vaccines. Karen Jordan, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Great advice, Karen. Thank you. There is a new call tonight for swift action to protect Kia and Hyundai owners from the threat of vehicle theft. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is joining a coalition of attorneys generals to fix a crisis of car thefts nationwide. The automakers failed to equip the 2010 to 2021 vehicles with anti-theft immobilizers that prevent the cars from operating without a key fob. Attorney General Raoul is calling on the automakers to accelerate a software fix and provide free alternate protections for vehicles that cannot support a software upgrade.
The new president of North Central College in Naperville is an historic pick. Dr. Anita Thomas will serve as the 11th president of the college. She will officially assume her role on July 1st. Dr. Thomas is the first woman and the first person of color to lead North Central College in its 162-year history. Dr. Thomas would be proud this show is produced by North Central graduates. Right,
See?
Michelle? Yes. Okay.
Yes. Congratulations to her.
Corliss, our producer.
See?
Proud graduate.
I bet they collaborate. Michelle might have to go do a speech to some of the students.
She's done. She's several. I think
she's going to go back.
No.
Yeah. See?
They never invite you.
This is the first time a woman's been in charge in the 162-year history.
Done.
So Michelle, you look for that email to come because I know she's watching us.
Yeah.
This is the hour of power.
Yeah,
so see, more confetti.
Capable lady running the show here. How about it?
Okay. See, we need more confetti. That's what we got to work on that. You know, the ones that,
Right.
Oh, those are fun.
Get you
All right.
started, man. You're going to buy like the biggest one.
Yeah.
You don't do anything small.
I'm thinking. We got a muscle car with an optional parachute.
This thing is a beast. Yeah, it has a parachute.
This might be a good present for you.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yes, I want it. Please. So you'll get it.
Although it's not, electric.
That's okay.
This
thing is a beast and it's pricey. Ahead tonight, how engineers are working to make it's the last V8 Dodge Challenger go out with a bang.
This is a souvenir. Plus, President Biden announcing new national monuments. How many have you visited?
Yeah.
We'll be right back on the other side. A trial over a ski accident involving actress Gwyneth Paltrow is getting underway. Terry Sanderson accused Paltrow of crashing into him on a Utah mountain in 2016. He says he had serious injuries and claims that Paltrow and her ski instructor skied away after the incident without getting him medical care. Paltrow filed a countersuit claiming that Sanderson skied into her.
Tomorrow, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will announce the next step for interest rates following multiple bank failures. Today, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen spoke to the American Bankers Association. She told them the government acted quickly to protect depositor savings after the Silicon Valley and Signature Bank collapses.
The government's recent actions have demonstrated our resolute commitment to take the necessary steps to ensure that depositors' savings and the banking system remains safe.
Financial markets appear to have stabilized at least the last few days, especially shares in regional banks. But the problems affecting smaller and mid-sized banks may not be over yet.
Well, President Biden designating 2 new national monuments. One is the Spirit Mountain area in Nevada. It's the largest tract of land to come under federal protection under the Biden administration. The Fort Mojave Indian tribe has been advocating for the monument's creation for decades.
We're protecting the heart and the soul of our national pride. We're protecting pieces of history, telling our story.
Well, the president also designated the Castner Range National Monument in West Texas. That area was a training site for the Army during World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. The president also called for hundreds of thousands of miles of Pacific Ocean southwest of Hawaii to be new National Marine Sanctuary. The goal is to protect the waters around the Pacific remote islands.
Yeah, good call there. All right, Dodge preparing to end production on its V8 powered muscle car, the Challenger. But before they stop, engineers are creating this, the Demon 170, and it will go 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds.
What?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Right. I mean, drivers have the option, though, Cheryl, like you said earlier, of adding a parachute mounting system to make it easier to stop. In that case, drivers would have to sign a waiver saying they know the car isn't ready for everyday use. It's not. So Dodge currently working on a new fully electric muscle car as well. But they've said, like Ford, they're going to phase out these muscle cars. Which has a lot of people, including my son, very upset because he's like a gearhead, and you know I like electric cars, but this thing, 1,000 horsepower.
Well, when is his birthday?
September.
Okay, when he graduates from high school, or September. This is a great birthday present because you can't get it after this.
Right, so it's only going to be made this coming year. It's $95,000.
Oh,
so it's a little pricey.
That's for college.
And you can see that one, right? That's college.
College fund.
You're right. So he's going to go to college first, and then maybe he gets this thing. And you can see that was track ready. That was like short. The tires in the back.
Wait, how do you? Because 1 2 is 1 1,000, 2 1,000.
You're going.
How do you?
You're going 60.
Yeah. That's like an
airplane. It really is. I mean, so these electric ones can go. The production ones, like the Model S from Tesla, can go 1.99. But it's all electric, so there's
1.99.
Yeah. The torque is just, it's right.
It's still really fast.
Right. But this is a true musclehead V8 gasoline. Oh, it must sound incredible.
Well, maybe you can go for a test drive one day
because
you drive everything. You do stories on all of these new cars. I think you should. Where do you have to go to test drive it? Or
I'm guessing maybe Detroit. I don't know.
They're going to have that race car this summer. Do you think they'll let news anchors do a test drive to promote it?
Probably not going to let me near that thing.
You got to do it.
I mean, that thing, you're signing a waiver for how fast it is. It really is next level.
All right. We got to ask Wendy if that's okay. She's got to prove it first.
It's made for specialty, which is racing. That would be pretty neat, though.
I think that the parachute is a way better idea than that stupid brake that the driver's edge people have. Like, just to pull the chute instead of that brake.
Boy, the chute. It's like stock car. I mean, it's like funny car racing because you need it to stop.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would like to.
You have to go. I think you should have to go to a class to be able to drive it.
It's like a roller coaster.
I really
to
do.
Get you going that fast. Man.
That hurts your neck.
Michelle,
all right.
Put that in for us because I saw it. I'm like,
put it in for him for sure.
Yeah,
all right. Let's talk about the preparations underway for the next round of the NCAA tournament. And just ahead, we're hearing from local players on one team that's been pulling off some major upsets. This is a great story, Greg. I know you've been watching all of this March Madness, and it has been madness.
It truly has been madness. I mean, brackets were busted from the first game, it seemed like this season. Many of them. We got some scattered sprinkles in the area for tonight, a better chance of rain, and perhaps even some stronger storms by tomorrow evening. We will track those and have your full 7-day forecast coming up. Still reading about that Dodge Demon.
Yeah, he's stuck there.
Sorry.
Come
Okay,
on
this is
back.
a good
Come on
story.
back to
I'm here.
earth.
Thank you.
Kentucky getting ready to host the next round of the NCAA tournament. South Region will play in Louisville later this week. Crews have been getting the floor installed, you see, and ready before the teams arrive. And one of the teams that will be playing in Kentucky is Princeton.
Yeah, this is Princeton's first trip to the Sweet 16 in 56 years. And 2 locals are on the team.
Blake Peters went to Evanston High School.
Yes.
Caden Pierce went to Glenbard West.
Embrace being an underdog, but you know, we don't feel like we're the Cinderella. We're just a great basketball team.
It's just been amazing, and yeah, all my friends and family from back home has just been so supportive throughout this whole process, and I'm so thankful for all of them.
Oh, they got a good chance. Another kid from Gary, John L. Davis, playing for Florida Atlantics, that made some history playing. He put some numbers up the other day.
Yeah.
Look
and
out
that's
for
like
it.
a Cinderella team, right? You know, it used to be Gonzaga, it used to be the Cinderella team, but now all of these.
They've got such good guard play, Florida Atlantic. I think a lot of people who knew, and I didn't start really studying them until this last couple of weeks, because you see these teams are doing so well. People knew they were on the radar. They can play.
It's really cool when an Ivy League is always in there too,
Yeah.
because people don't give them credit for being brilliant and, you know, talented on, you know, the sports game.
They are really smart players. I was talking to my brother, who's a Division II coach, about he always gives me, and he's like, Princeton is so hard to prepare for.
Really?
Because they're such smart players, and what they do better than anybody is run this offense that is really hard to slow down, and they match up.
And then they play that serious head game.
Well, they play
with you,
really
right?
good defense.
Yeah, okay.
And they're just basically going to make you play how they play. And once it just changes the game. They can match up against anybody. They're a good squad.
Did you pick your final team? And has it lost?
No, Marquette is my final team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't.
That sounds like a good one. That might. And Gonzaga plays UCLA. UCLA beat what? Illinois or Northwestern?
They didn't have to play Northwestern.
Yeah, so they're coming up, right? UCLA and.
Our Illini did not.
I know.
Do anything again.
There's always next year.
I don't think we've
no
won.
confetti for us
right,
in
no.
this one.
Just optimistic.
Well, but here's some confetti for this one, because Lollapalooza. The lineup has been announced for 2023. Yeah.
People are saying it's a good one.
It looks fantastic.
I defer to my children, and then I got the thumbs up.
Yeah, because your daughter is one of her favorites is in there.
Yeah, and we'll tell you which one it is. And President Biden honors singers, actors, fashion designers, and even more. Stories next. Okay, we're all seated. Marquette's out. I need to clarify that.
Okay,
Shaka
good.
Smart, I believe in him.
Michigan State beat them.
They got
so
thumped
we're
by the
pulling for
Spartans.
Big
We
Ten.
are. The only Big
Yeah.
Ten team, and they
Right.
look good, too.
Yeah.
So my apologies to Marquette.
Go Spartans!
I remember that. It was not good. Did you do a bracket?
I did not do a bracket, no.
Smart.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
surprising.
Like, I was going to have the AI bot do my bracket for me.
yes.
Smart. I bet people did that.
Oh, yeah, totally. But
Are they still going to get paid if they win? Or?
Sure, you're not telling anybody.
Put my name
Yeah.
on that thing. I would have gone to the grave with that.
Well, we've been talking about spring, but we really want to talk about summer.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Right?
Sign of summer coming. Lollapalooza announcing its 2023 lineup today. So here are the headliners: Kendrick Lamar, Billie Eilish, Red Hot Chili Peppers, yes,
Nice.
old school. Lana Del Rey, the 1975. That's my daughter Eva's favorite.
Yes.
She saw him in London.
She
gonna
sure did.
come
With
back
her,
and see
with a
him.
guest appearance by
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she
And
was
Karol
there.
G's going to make
Carol G
history.
is the best.
First female
Yes.
Latin artist to headline Lala. So
Oh.
this festival runs August 3rd through the 6th at Grant Park. If you sign up online, you can get a pre-sale code to buy those tickets. That's starting Thursday, so they're messing around.
Yeah, I love Carol G. I mean, her journey story is so incredible. She is one of the best songwriters, and just, the hurdles she had to climb to get to where she is. She's been doing this for a long time, but just now getting her recognition, and she is going to turn it out.
Yeah, headline and Lala is a
Grant
pretty
Park.
special thing.
Yeah.
It should be fun.
Kendrick Lamar, of course, Billie Eilish.
Puts
They-
on a good
they've
show. Puts
never
on a good
been-
show.
yeah, neither one of
Lana Del
them.
Rey puts on a good show.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
these are really good headliners.
Yeah.
People seem to like them
And
a lot.
Kendrick Lamar is like a Pulitzer Prize winner, the first rapper to ever receive that honor. So, I mean, his words and lyrics are so deep. Maybe Beyonce might, perform. They have a song together.
Show up to you. Oh, man.
Yeah. So maybe she might just pop in.
It's not that far away, March.
No.
Well,
right. So, yes.
Even when you're talking about the pre-sale,
5
though, it
months.
feels like you're kind of locked into that, tied into summertime, right? We're all being pulled in that direction.
Yes, pull us, yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we're
I wish it
going.
was a rip current. Instead, it's a tide.
Yeah, we got to get past some more snow, perhaps. Yeah. All right, let's talk about meeting the president. What an honor for the boss. Look at this.
The boss.
He is the boss. Ooh, I just love him. President Biden awarding Bruce Springsteen the 2021 National Medal of Arts today. Hey, Mindy Kaling. The highest award for advancing in arts actresses, Mindy Kaling and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. We love her story, too.
Veep. You're going to go with Veep?
The Veep,
Off the top?
yes. Vera Wang, fashion designer among, look at that. And the president also handed out 2021 Humanities Medals. The first batch of the awards were delayed, of course, by
This
the
was a
pandemic.
fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I loved her from Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
every one like 10 times.
Yep.
Yeah. Saturday Night Live, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, one of the original
Right. What is
cast
you
members.
guys can do the dance for me from Seinfeld.
The Elaine dance?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's your go-to movement.
That's why
right?
I'm never going to dance with you, because that's what I look like.
That's because it's my actual dance. Yeah.
Right. She is moonwalking off stage when we had Trey. That's good. I mean, that's good. Trey was on the show dancing a couple weeks ago.
Right, Dancing with the Celebrities.
Dancing
He
with
won.
Celebrities.
Oh, he
won
was
the whole
so
wild.
good.
He's out there hamming it up. She's like moonwalking,
Yeah.
looks like Michael. And
you're like,
clueless. Just like, oh, I guess we go off the
That's my worst nightmare. Like, I'm going to dream about that tonight and be like, that was me.
Anxiety,
Like,
right.
yeah, it's going to be a fever dream.
I mean, I think you all can really, it's.
I don't know. I mean, I think I could do the Elaine dance.
Yeah, pretty
Really
well.
good.
It's
Your
our.
leg gets in the air.
We are in the process of watching it through again for the 4th time.
Okay.
Right now. Yeah, we're in season 4 again.
We'll take a performance. One of Feel Good Fridays or a Motivation Monday.
Yeah.
We'll
Quote
do that.
anytime.
Yeah.
Did you get to the Kenny Roasters chicken one yet again?
No, we're not there.
sign.
No, we just got through the Low Talker. With the puffy shirt episode.
Oh, the puffy
which is
shirt.
just so good. Did you know that's in? We went on this whole tangent. It's in the Smithsonian.
Yes.
That shirt
puffy
is in the
shirt?
Smithsonian. Yeah.
Wow.
Show is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a pirate. Yeah.
It's a cheesecake made by a 3D printer. Look at this. Engineers at Columbia University created a 7-ingredient vegan cheesecake. They used a laser.
Looks like a churro. Doesn't that look like a churro?
Maybe it was sliced up. They used a laser to cook the cheesecake as it printed. Oh, wow. So there's the ingredient. It's edible. There's another company using 3D
Jelly,
printers.
Nutella, peanut butter, frosting.
Okay.
The
This is
flavorings are
cool.
good.
So there's other companies using the printer to make plant-based steak, and pop-up restaurants offer
Plant-based
meals
steak.
entirely made by 3D printers. This is I've
A
never
steak
seen this
from a
before in my
3D
life.
printer.
That seems like a new
Plant-based.
art form to me.
Would you try it?
Oh yeah, I would try it. Remember when they did like the big fad recently was like cakes that look like things, where you're like it's a toaster, but no, it's actually a cake.
Yeah.
This is like the next thing.
Well, they're doing like pop-up restaurants, so you would try like a 3D cheesecake. I'll give it a try.
Absolutely. But is it cheesecake? Are the ingredients cheesecake ingredients?
Right.
Well, it was vegan though. It was a vegan.
Oh, vegan.
one, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
I
So
mean,
that, because peanut butter, Nutella,
Right.
you know. And
We're already tearing it down.
They need to have 2 of those tubes needed to be filled with Philadelphia cream cheese.
Yes. I don't know how it prints.
Right.
There's no cheese in it at all, right?
Right.
Speaking of
No
Michelle,
cheese
yeah,
in a cheese.
Sadness cake.
Yeah, cheesecake. Right.
Now I'm less excited about it.
Oh, y'all, did y'all miss that? Just in case. Opposite of cheese is
sadness.
Yeah.
It is, right? Yeah.
That's true.
Well, we're almost done with this.
Debbie
fine program.
Downer.
Yeah.
That's me. Well, you know, someone's got to be here in the spirit of Phil. So
That's right. Yeah, we missed Phil. I wonder how he's doing.
I know, right?
Complaining about something.
He's skiing somewhere, right?
skiing.
and he's a big Lala guy, so I'm sure he was.
Oh,
looking
he's
through
going
the
to
thing.
go because that lineup, and we just did the headliners. It's going to be some really other.
I should jokingly like put in for that weekend and ask him if he'll work for me.
You should. You should do it. Just
He wouldn't leave me unread.
We talk about Phil Schwartz, our recent retiree coworker. I haven't texted him in a while. Sometimes he would mute me, so maybe he won't. I think we're good.
Oh,
though,
weird. I'm not getting your text. Oh, you were muted. You're like,
He said he had a 24-hour policy, and then you're back.
Okay.
One last look at weather from you.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's doing great.
Yeah, so let's take a look here. Outside right now, we got a few scattered rain showers, although they are staying south of the city as we look north of the city. Here are your high temperatures for the day. We did not do bad, and tomorrow we'll do just as well. 54 degrees at O'Hare, 56 at Midway. Of course, we had that wind, so it never really felt that warm, and we still do have the wind right now sustained at 15 miles per hour. A little bit down from where it was the last time we checked in at 17, but these are staying strong all the way through the overnight. 20 or 25 mile per hour gusts through the overnight hours. 26 degrees right now in Aurora, 25 degrees out there at Midway. And our temperatures have dropped by about 10 degrees from where those daytime highs were. But with the southerly wind tonight, with the cloud cover tonight, our lows will stay on the warmer side of things. We just have to dodge a couple of raindrops, and we are going to do that in Chicago. Now, on the south side of Chicago, you're seeing some light rain. Northwest Indiana, you're seeing some light rain. Same deal in Kankakee and central and southern portions of Will County. But as we take a look at live Doppler 7 Max, very defined line to where that rain is not stopping just south of Joliet and Romeoville, not making its way into southern DuPage County either. So northern Will County, Bolingbrook, southern DuPage County, Naperville, staying warm. Staying dry, too, at this point. Everybody's kind of warm in comparison to where we were for the weekend. This misses us off to the north. No big problem there. This is the system that's passing through now. It gets out of here. And our next chance of rain showers really doesn't arrive until later on Wednesday, probably around dinner time. But this could be a strong area of showers and thunderstorms into Wednesday evening. We're thinking some of them could be strong to severe. The main threat looks like it would be hail. And then on the backside of this, we still see a couple of scattered rain showers. But I do want to focus a bit on Friday's forecast, because for the most part, this big wing of rain misses us off to the south early on Friday, but Friday evening starts lifting off to the north, and well, that's not really a problem. The problem is here, if this low doesn't keep on kicking off to the north, it's going to pivot through and bring us a change over to rain and snow. Now, as it stands, that Wednesday evening threat, there is indeed a threat for severe weather. Hail looks like the bigger concern there, and it's almost viewing area wide, but it is a relatively low chance. It's the lowest, a level 1 out of 5 levels. There's that rain and mixing over to snow chance for our Saturday. Temperatures did pop back up pretty good on Sunday, up to 49 degrees, and we're in the lower 40s Monday and Tuesday of next week. Now that, of course, is much cooler than normal. We're going to have to work on it, but at least we get back to the sunshine.
What are we doing at the end of this show? First, cheesecake 3D
Right,
printed.
3D.
Now, beer that comes in a powder. The one way a brewery says it's helping the environment. It's for the environment. That looks
Okay,
terrible.
we need to taste
Do
this.
they mix it up? I agree.
Oh, you got to have a special mixer. You
Tell you
can't
a
just
little
use a
more.
spoon.
Tell you more about
Oh,
it
it
in a
looks
second.
like it. Okay.
Be right back.
All right.
fighting climate change through beer. A brewery in eastern Germany just developed this beer in powder form. You mix it into water at home. The brewery says the powder makes bottles, crates, and kegs obsolete. Sure. Why would you do that? But it's allegedly going to reduce the carbon footprint of beer production.
So do you have to buy one of those things, that emulsifier thing,
I think so.
to spread it around?
Carbonated?
Does it? It looked like it was foamy. What do they put, like baking powder in?
Okay,
there?
what is in the powder though? How do you make beer? You guys know.
Well, so
you
you
need
use yeast
or something?
You use yeast.
All right.
You know, usually the yeast has to go through to carbonate the beer. At least in the bottle, it has to go through like a whole life cycle.
It's not happening there.
But it looked like it. It looked like the finished product looked.
We got to go.
We got 3D
5 seconds
cheesecake
left.
and
we have
powder
cheesecake
beer.
questions too. We're